Hey guys, I know I've been kind of MIA for a little bit here, but I'm going through some medical stuff and a lot of other little problems here and there. But I'm not going to make any excuses. It's just if I don't make a video, there's a couple of reasons why. So anyway, get past all that. I've been working on a few things here and there, just like some props and some accessories and a little bit of diorama stuff here. And I mean, I haven't really spent much time on it because I just don't really have the time. It's more in between things, like in between going to work and stuff like that, or just random times of the day. So I work like 1 or 2 hours on something, and then I gotta stop and wait like a couple days. So anyway, I'm not gonna bore you with all that, but I have Charizard here just for a little demonstration of what I've been kind of working on. For those who are familiar with Pokemon and playing the game and the attacks and stuff like that, I made a Fire Blast effect. If you recall, it's the this symbol. I forget what this means, but I know it's some type of kanji, like a Japanese symbol. So I made this guy, and it's going to be in scale with him. Well, obviously it is, but it's going to be able to look like it's being shot out of his mouth. I'm working on the part that goes in his mouth and connects to the back of it. I was thinking something along the lines of this, and I'm going to add more detail to it, and I'm going to paint it up and everything, so it's going to look flame-esque, and it's going to attach to the back of this piece. So there's that, and there's a couple other things I was working on. For instance, here's this piece right here that's inspired by the Crossfire Hurricane attack that Magician's Red does from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just look it up. But yeah, that's a pretty old anime that's been around for quite a while, and it's got a little bit of a newer series too. So it's a classic, but at the same time they keep it running. So I made this, and it's in the shape of one of those like Egyptian crosses with the loop at the top and the cross here. And then because I made a hole here, I wanted to give it some type of effect that it didn't look like just a hole. So I made it look like the fire, if it was solid, was being pushed through the hole. So there's fire in the back. And then yeah, so this is pretty much just all orange, and there's a little bit of yellow in it because it's more of a anime color. And then this is, obviously more cartoony because Charizard is very cartoony, so it kind of fits in with him. And there's a few little other effects I'm working on. There's some type of fireball thing that's just not painted yet, and these pieces are going to be like it's part of a rider kick from Kamen Rider O's. There's going to be like multiple pieces going around in a circle, and it's going to like attach to his leg to look like it's going through the air, or like the kick is going to make some type of big impact. So I was working on those, and I'm pretty sure there's a few other things, and I just don't have them handy because my desk is kind of a mess. So I'm going to move Charizard out of the way so that you can see what this base is that I have here. Pretty much just made out of foam, and all the details carved out with, I believe I used a wood burner. I wouldn't recommend it though because it's very dangerous. It's hot for one thing, and there's no safety really that you can use for that. Like there's no type of way of cooling it down or anything. Like once it's hot, or you gotta unplug it. So I don't recommend using it, and also it burns when it burns this. It gives off fumes when it burns the foam. So it's more of like an outdoor thing or a well ventilated thing, and and also like you don't want to be inhaling that kind of stuff. It was just my trial, so like like I said, I don't recommend it. So don't go trying it and then yell at me for not getting it right. So anyway, a bunch of carved out sections, a big crater here, and then what I did was I coated it in 2 coats of what is called goop, and that is a term that's more used within the little like Warhammer, that stuff. Like they use goop for terrain and stuff to make detail, and what it pretty much is just a mixture of a bunch of different building things. So there's like plasters in it, and there's some white glue or whatever, and then there's like caulk, and then whatever else you want to use for texture. So there's a bunch of textures in here that are used from different things. One of them is cat litter you can use. I know that sounds really funny, but it works good to make these rock formations that aren't very detailed. For instance, like if you want it to look like there's a bunch of rock just like kind of like a concrete look where it's all kind of just mushed together, there's no detail in the stones, like for instance over here, and then there's some in here and even up here. That's what that's good for, because it clumps together, and that's what it's supposed to do for when you have cats in the litter box and stuff. And then after that was done, that was a thin coat, and then I did a little bit of a thicker coat with finer sand and some smaller stones. And I don't know if you can make out what kind of detail is on here, but this is more of like a rough surface. And then I coated all that. So it looks okay to me. It still needs a lot more things. There's obviously some paint that needs to be involved with this. I gotta paint it, a couple coats of paint, and then there's gonna be your props and details, like, you know, grasses or something like along those lines. So there's that. This is more of like just my experiment with goop, just trying to see how I can make it and how it comes out in on a display. So I didn't want to use it on like a big project that I was going to work on or anything. I just wanted to kind of test it first. So it still is relatively light, but it has a little bit of weight because of the plaster. But it's, you know, like it's pretty light. It's not anything serious, and it doesn't break or chip off. It's pretty strong. So if you're curious on knowing how to make that stuff, just message me on Facebook, and I can teach you guys a little bit of what I know. I'm not going to do a whole tutorial right now. And also Bob the Odd, if you check out his stuff, his YouTube channel is like Lunkermouth or something like that. I can link him down below, and he has a lot of tutorials for stuff like this. So if you're looking to get into making dios and making displays and you know, even little like stands and stuff for your guys, that's where you can do it. So I kind of rambled on a little bit too far into this video, so I'm going to get to the next stuff. So I got a package here, and I'm not going to go over the whole looking at the package thing, because I just don't want to block out the addresses. I'm kind of lazy right now. But overall, it's pretty good. And this is from Pharaoh Black, so if you guys know who he is, he sent me this. I already know what it is, so I'm just going to cut it open. Alright. I was a little worried about how this would show up in the mail, but if you've seen that, you probably already know what this is. Alright, so a figure I cannot find anywhere. I don't know if you guys are having trouble finding these waves at retail or whatever, but I'm having a hard time finding him and the Red She-Hulk. I keep finding, you know, the Bucky caps or not Bucky cap, the Ultimate Cap and stuff like that, but not this guy for some reason. I mean, I know he's a highly wanted figure. I guess that's what I'm trying to go for. I know that people want him, basically, so he's going to be hard to come by. Man, he's got some little feet, but I'm glad I got him. He looks pretty good. I love this face sculpt. Those who don't know who this is Archangel from X-Men, Marvel Comics, whatever. I just say X-Men because it's the X-Men series where he showed up. And he has a plug, and his wings can just go right in the back. It's kind of curious how they did these wings. I seen a lot of people posting pictures of him, but I wasn't able to tell what he looked like from the pictures. But it's pretty cool. I mean, he can close them up and put them over himself, which is really neat. I really like that effect. And he does have the extra wings. I don't even know what you would consider these. He has them in the back. So, pretty cool figure, and I got him for a good price, about retail, so I'm really happy about that. So thanks, Mr. Farrow, if you're watching. I'm not going to give out your real name. Alright, yeah, on to the next thing. Okay, so if you guys have been watching my show for quite some time now, you do know that I love to go thrift shopping. So I'll always go to a thrift store and find random things, and this time I don't get it. I don't get what's up with this one thrift store, man. Like, they have so many action figures there at like random times. I've been there tons of times, but when I go there and I find one thing, I find more than just that one thing. And other times I'll go there and there's never anything. It's really strange. So last episode, I'm sure you guys seen the Bishop and the other random figures that I picked up from that thrift store. So I went there again, and I actually came across a select Deadpool, which is very, very random. Of course, he's loose, so there's no accessories or anything. I'm sure the person who bought it didn't even want him, just wanted the guns and all that. So I'm glad I found him. I mean, he was only $3, so I can't pass up something like this for $3, especially when I can use it for something later on. So really cool. Happy about that. And then this is the I believe it was the alternators line, Dead End, and he is in pretty good condition, along with Deadpool. They're both in pretty good condition. The only thing he's missing is his engine. His engine turns into a gun, apparently, from what I've been told. And he is modeled after a Dodge Viper. And the alternators line, for those who may not know, that's when they actually took licensed vehicles and made Transformers from them. And this is official. It's like officially done by Takara and Hasbro. So on the side here, Deadpool's slippery. He slides all over my table. It's crazy. On the side here, you can see maybe that it says Viper, and I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it does say Dead End back here. That's funny. I didn't even notice. It says Viper here, and the Dodge symbol is there too. So really, really cool. The original mold for this guy was Sunstreaker. He was the yellow version of this. So that was a really cool find for me, because I love Dodge Vipers, especially this model. And finding something like this at a thrift store is just really cool to me. I don't know about you guys, but I rarely ever find good action figures. I usually find just like random things, so it's really cool for me to find this. I'll put these guys aside, and then I went to another thrift store. Whoops, that's closer to me, and I found this really strange playset in pieces. And in my thrift store that I'm talking about, they have a bin that's set up in certain sections. There's all kinds of bins, and in these bins things aren't priced because everything is $2, or is it $2 or $1? I forget. But I saw this playset in pieces, so I figured, hey, I'm gonna put it together and see how it looks, and maybe I'll buy it. So I'm gonna back the camera up a little bit. It might be easier to see it. I'm kind of far from the table now, though. Okay, so I don't know where this is from. I'm gonna say it's something along the lines of Play School, because that's what it reminds me of. So you got this big lift gate here, and everything is kind of around these buttons. Like, everything focuses around these buttons. So you press this, and the gate goes up. So it's very cartoony, but I could use this for parts, which is really cool. So, and $2, you know, for parts is really good in my opinion. So let's see. Let's try and open this up somewhere. I think it's over here that it opens up. Okay, so this swings open, and then there's this little control thing here, and this moves out, and I believe this has some type of sounds because it looks like there's a speaker right here, but I don't know where. And then there's some type of screen right over here, and then a control panel with some tube thing, I don't know, and then another one of these red knob things, and then which way is it? I think it's this way. Yeah, this door. Well, we'll flip it around. It'll be easier. I'll move this screen back in. So on this side, there's like this cool little, I don't know, like digital map thing. It's really cool. Like, it's like engraved, and you can see, I don't know, like the detail in it. It's really cool. Then you got this vault, which is really, really cool to me. It opens up, and there's like all this detail in here, and then the door, it's on this, one of these things, just like the thing on the other side. So that seems to be the theme, these little red button things. And then here's another one, some chopper detail that, I don't know what this one does. I think it might just unlock this, because this seems to be stuck. So let's find out. Oh yeah, there you go. It unlocks this cool translucent red door, and I could use this door for something, and I could probably even use this whole section because all this detail in here. It's cool stuff. So I'm probably going to take this thing apart, and it looks like there's a landing pad up here and something. I don't know. So yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to take this apart and just, you know, use these pieces as pieces of displays and stuff. So, because I think this is really cool, and I might cut this off, you know, whatever, and I make this into some type of vault that actually has a working door. Because I really like this idea that it actually has a door that works. All right, so I think that's about it for this week. I'll try to have something next week. I haven't been spending money really at all. As you can tell, I went to a thrift store, and that's really all I bought was thrift store stuff. So maybe next week I'll have something for you guys, and I can blah 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 a little bit more. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.